Hello everyone, my name is Alfonso Arellano, and I'm going to present a scientific article called The Global Tree Restoration Potential, written by the following authors. This presentation will follow this outline. First, an introduction to context the main idea. This is the climate change and its consequences, with the global status and limits. After this, the best solution to reduce its possible effects, the forecast of this problem, and the way to get the global target. The climate change is a natural process, but the problem is the high speed that is reaching. As can you see, in just 50 years, the temperature anomaly is between half and 1 Celsius degree, depending if we see the land surface air temperature or the sea surface water temperature. This is caused by the increasing of the greenhouse gases concentration in our atmosphere, mainly the carbon dioxide. This increase in the carbon dioxide concentration is caused by several processes, particularly by burning fossil fuels and deforestation. The most relevant consequences of this increase are melting polar ice and rising of sea level, extreme weather, shifting rainfall that occasionates heat waves, forest fires, and droughts. As a result, the natural resource decreasing. That occasionates the cut down in basic sectors as agriculture, forestry, energy, and tourism, which leads to crises, famines, massive emigration, and wars. At the same time, in environmental terms, this process leads to habitat losses, species moving, and a massive extinction. Now, the global temperature anomaly is around 0.85 Celsius degree since the pre-industrial era, and according to the science, the limit of high risk and the point of no return is around 2 Celsius degree. But what can we do to avoid the effects of the climate change? Here, you can see the carbon cycle. Almost every natural and artificial process emits carbon dioxide, except one. This is the photosynthesis. That is a process in which carbon dioxide is absorbed by plants, forming wood. So the solution abides in planting trees. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, an increase of 1 billion hectares of forest is needed to avoid the global warming of 1 Celsius degree by 2050. Is this possible? Let's see. First, we need to determine what a forest is. According to FAO, a forest is a territory with an extension superior to half hectares, with 10% of more of tree cover, without agriculture activity and human settlement. So, these three examples of forest are different types of it. Based on this definition, there are 8.7 billion hectares with potential forest land. This is 3.2 billion hectares more than the current forest area. But 1.5 billion hectares are croplands and urban areas. So, consequently, there is 1.7 hectares of potential forest land, defined as FAO, now covered by degraded and sparse vegetation grass, lands, and degraded bird soils. For example, you can see this in this photo. But if the solution habits in the tree cover, the categorical forest definition is a pitfall. There is these different types of forests can absorb dioxide carbon in different amount, so is needed a continuous tree cover scale. Here appears a global map about the 8.7 billion hectares of tree potential cover territories. If we extract the current forested areas, the croplands, and the urban settlements, here appears the 1.7 billion hectares of available areas. So, if the target is 1 billion hectares of new forest, this article estimates that there are 0.9 million hectares with restoration potential. Then, counting with other residual and natural generation areas, it is possible to reach the global target. But once again, the political view occasionates problems because more than a half of the needed extension are in only 6 countries, 6 countries with great extension and power. The Bond Challenge is a global effort to restore 150 million hectares of the world's degraded and deforested lands by 2020 and 350 million hectares by 2030, and it's formed by 48 countries. The fact is that only 10% of countries exceeds the minimal target, whereas more than 43% of these countries have committed to restore less than a half of this minimal target. It's true that many good work has been done, but we need more restoration plans. In addition, the potential tree cover depends on climate change as a retroactive process. So, is this a feasible target? This is a global map about this process, where warm areas reduce the tree cover potential while the coolest increase it. The global situation is a reduction, you see. And this result do not take into account the variation of plant growth and many global feedback processes. So each year, the target is far to be achieved. This is not just a human and natural challenge. This is a conflict of the times of each one at the same time. The solution is reduce emissions and increase the carbon sinks. For the first one, a change in power energy is needed in short term to continue to an electrification model. And for the second one, it is needed to create and restore forest areas to reduce the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. If there is something good in the pandemic we are living, is that maybe we start to think in global way, with solidarity to reach the global health. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you learned about this important topic. Comment and share if you like.